Alright, you ready? Set. Blast off! What does this say? How can aliens time travel? Eric Weinstein on Joe Rogan. Apparently this is Dr. Brian Keating. Apparently he's a grifter like me. With 680,000 views, which I don't have on a single video.
These things are real.
Oh!
Does
Valid
somebody
point.
else know how to grow rulers and shrink rulers and
Eric
grow
Weinstein.
watches and shrink watches, speed them up, slow them down, in order to get in control of the thing that we thought was space-time? The next issue is, are there multiple temporal dimensions? So, Eric, your friend who's had too much coffee, believes that there are either 6 or 4 extra temporal dimensions. Whatever isn't temporal is spatial. So it's either 4 plus 6 or 6 plus 4 extra dimensions split between time and space. If that's true, try to imagine extra dimensional engineers who have full access to something where there's no error.
Other planets have scientists? Go on. Yeah, you've never heard of a Dyson sphere? Anyway. People, stop being ridiculous.
If it's three-dimensional, you have a right-hand rule of time, and there's a left-hand rule of time. These are called orientations. My belief is that we may be looking at something that has access to either 4 or 6 additional dimensions. And again, I'm reading this off of a page of equations and notes. And so you know what this means. On the other hand, geometry, you don't worry about these. Okay, well, extra dimensions, I can think in 17 or 3, or it doesn't matter. It's not that hard to think of higher dimensions spatially for people who do what I do. Almost none of us can think in multiple temporal dimensions. There's one guy in Los Angeles at USC called Yitzhak Bars, a Turkish Jew, who keeps talking about two-time physics. And I've spoken to him. But multiple temporal dimensions would be a decisive game changer in terms of changing everything that we know about the world. And what would be the technology that someone could use to access
So basically
that?
no one can buy locate?
That's the big thing. I know. You think about it. You and I are both old enough to remember.
And what is astral viewing? Remote viewing? Astral travel? In the mind alone?
You want to play it again.
The mind is a computer? Like a receptor? With free Wi-Fi?
Right? But that doesn't happen on an album. Towards the end of the turntable time.
No satellite required to be connected to source. So that's what the Holy Spirit references?
And it would go back to some track that you
So spirituality and astrophysics?
imagine
Astrophysics? You mean subatomic particle physics? Yeah, particle physics.
Do I even know what I mean?
Subatomic particles?
Sort of at the edge of where I can
Subatomic
actually say
physics?
But you see,
particle
all
physics
proceeds from
particle physics.
From the assumption that time is one dimensional.
So people actually think about particle physics? Yes, they're called intellectuals. And scientists. And scientists are intellectuals. Mostly and by and large, yes, of course. And Freemasons?
Physics, I should be able to figure out where this is.
Could apply to being Hogwarts people? Have telekinetic capability sometimes?
And it described a parabola. Okay.
A parable?
Initial condition, propagation.
Of course I love to play catch. Why?
Determined by the point of release.
Of course I practice juggling in jail.
Quantum measurement.
That's what's that to do with my time.
Thing nobody understands. Everybody says, if you think you understand the quantum, you don't understand it. It's mind-blowing, blah, blah, blah. But the first part of it is where we're trying to fit gravity.
Well, maybe if you had spent your life wanting to know how to juggle better, and watching your brother, watch Allen Iverson, listen to your brother, listen to Allen Iverson.
Who's doing the observation? Is Joe doing the observation? Is Jamie doing the observation? Who's doing this observation? Who has the right to use the second rule for collapsing the state vector with Schrodinger's cat entanglement weirdness? Well, I think it's gravity. I think that part of the story is that gravity is the observer through something called a operation. And
Dang it!
You realize that you don't naively quantize
Dang
gravity.
it! recommend this habit at all.
There are two spaces called X and Y. All the
It is a fun habit.
everything you and I are is living on
It
Y.
also leads to things anymore. Which is why if you drop something
Lives on X, which is how you keep gravity separate.
that you need somewhere and you let it fall,
I'm sure professors will say, this is what Eric was saying. Oh shit, no, he's actually making fun.
so look for it right now and right away. Don't wait.
Use the Einstein field equations because you're using the successor theory rather than in the Einstein theory. The entire planet is pulling on you.
I'm working on a video on how to find lost things.
And your legs, I mean, they're obviously busted, but you just pulled against the entire planet to get out of your chair. And you won't. That's how weak gravity.
Subscribe and hit bell for all notifications.
By all of
Oh, it's already posted.
Now you're going to tell me better
Maybe
how
you should watch more of my content more often.
Okay, no.
And likes, because you like me, right? Just you see my smiling face, you're like, oh, I need to go give her a like.
And they can get here from very far away.
Maybe she's forgot what the fuck she's wearing and is making a video again.
They're using a successor theory, and we have become pussies. We're not going to look.
So you seriously think that they were doing disclosure when they did Star Trek and Star Wars? It's just the title alone is disclosure. It's Star Wars.
Capterra is the #1 destination for finding the software to grow your business. With Capterra, in 10 minutes, you can create a short list of options that are right for you.
They're green,
Take the
okay.
fast path to more productive. Capterra, don't search, find.
So time travel means we could have Kurt Cobain back from history. One would fucking hope the CIA would get that for us. CIA. Come on. You know that wasn't right for him to be in that psychological state to have done that to himself. So it's only right to reverse that happened. Then you have to repeat other people's. Yep. Anyway. It's kind of what I was hoping for. You want to go on? Who else is missing from history? Well, there's Jews. Some Tutsis. A boatload of Native Americans. Probably some Cubans. Yeah. Yeah, there'd be a lot of people. Selena. Obviously, Selena.
It's not the lady in
Of course I have a conspiracy theory about Selena. Why would I not have a conspiracy theory? What is a conspiracy theorist to do if they are not to have a conspiracy theory about how one may or may not have been Manchurian candidate? A female? Of course they would use sex guard for that. Who, the bodyguard? That doesn't make any sense. A female bodyguard? And then she's madly in love with her and she turns on? I don't know. That seems like some kind of weird FBI shit. It does. It sounds like complete garbage. It sounds like a poorly written horror story by some very unsophisticated people who write awful news stories instead of doing their fucking job of creating world peace and national security for the country and the rest of the world too. They kind of go hand in hand. So we need a new oral constitution. We needed a new USA Constitution. A new USA Constitution? Why, of course we needed a new USA Constitution. You didn't know we needed a new USA Constitution? Of course the United States of America needs an updated Constitution. No, Joe Biden can't figure that out. Joe Biden can't think for Joe Biden himself, and we've elected him. And before that was Donald Trump. Think about it. We need Marianne Williamson or RFK, or Marianne Williamson and RFK. I don't really care which way it goes. I would take either or. That'd be fine. I'm glad people are willing to go up against him. We think we need to rally against Joe Biden. That's the main thing. And whoever the Democratic nominee is, probably. If I had to guess. I'm assuming the Democratic nominee will not be worthy of one's vote. And that's how independents think? Yeah, so independents take a bad rap? Yeah, but we're all independents. We're Americans. And we're all independent. Well, we're not all independents. Many people are either Democrat. There are many proud Democrats, and they have reasons to be proud Democrats. Yeah. Remember the 70s when Democrats were allowed to be proud Democrats before they killed the Kent State students on May 4th? How many of them? They let some of them live. So they could tell their trauma stories? No, so they could be hushed, silenced, and forgotten. Why? Because the Pentagon doesn't like that story. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. Oh, Joe Biden loves censorship, so fire Joe Biden from the presidency. Thank you. Don't hire Kamala for president. No. Just unearned it. No, she hasn't. Just unearned your vote. And we don't just create a pipeline of who the last Freemasons thought was a suitable vice president to be the next president, only if they were groomed into absolute and utter submission, like some awful, awful CIA experiment gone wrong in childhood. What? Nothing. The CIA never picks on poor kids. Why? You know any stories? No. Why? Of course censorship happens. Me too. Wow, that sounds like a vodka culture problem. What's a vodka culture problem? It's a grown-up issue. I'll tell you later. Bye.